Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Welcome back to another news I missed, where I go over news I missed because there's always a bajillion things happening in the cryptocurrency space, so I bring them to you here in this video. A very big thank you during the course of this week. Thank you for all the support on my NFT collection known as Buddy Bears. A very big shout out to all the people who've been getting the really good minting numbers as well. I see a lot of people collecting certain numbers, so I do tip my hat to thee. For those of you who are interested, there is a link in the description below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. At the moment, you may have noticed Bitcoin's price is rising. A lot of people have been trying to figure exactly out as why Bitcoin's price is rising. We had one answer, but this answer does also seem quite realistic, if you will. Concerns that inflation will keep rising and are not transitory is the main driver for Bitcoin's price pushing to new highs, and not the first US Bitcoin futures ETF. This was said by a JP Morgan strategist to Bloomberg. They said by itself, the launch of BITO is unlikely to trigger a new phase of significantly more fresh capital entering Bitcoin, wrote the strategist, per the report referring to the ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF. Instead, they said, we believe the perception of Bitcoin as a better inflation hedge than gold because it is the main reason for the current upswing, triggering a shift away from gold's ETFs into Bitcoin's funds since September. That's also interesting to note as well. We've had news over the past year, even more so, more of a year, that this has been going on. We realized, or institutions have realized, that a large portion of money that they once had in gold or in gold ETF or in gold stocks or gold something have been sold off in rapid succession by these huge companies. And that same amount of money has been used to buy cryptocurrency at the same exact time. A lot of the news that we've gotten over the course of this previous week, the last couple of days, has been that Bitcoin's price has been going up because of the Bitcoin futures ETF. I think that this did have some type of significance in the actual manner because the word Bitcoin and ETF were in the exact same sentence. One got approved, and therefore I think more people pushed money into the market in anticipation of it going higher. A lot of my friends who live in the States, I speak to them not very often, as much as I maybe should, but I do hear from them. And one main thing continues to pop up every single time. It's the price of things. All the time, how high things are going, how much more expensive things are, the price of orange juice, all these other things. It's also across the board. I think it's also in meat and all the, yada, 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 yada. It continues going on. It's the fact that this is no longer like a sideways fear or something that could simply, oh, maybe it'll happen. We know that it's here. We know that the normal rate of inflation that the governments try to hit, they say, is 1 to 2%. It's usually 2.5 to 3% on a normal year right now. And what was it? I forgot the percentage of all the US dollars in existence that had ever been printed since last year. Like, the chart looks absolutely insane. So we know that something is amiss. Something's afoot at the moment. And this is why I make sure to always mention as well, because a lot of times we do get the news that the only reason why Bitcoin moving is because of X. Bitcoin moved up because of Y. Bitcoin moved up because this event took place. While Bitcoin's price will benefit from an actual Bitcoin ETF or Bitcoin hedge funds or Bitcoin so-and-so is getting into the market, Bitcoin's price is going to move because of its scarcity. There's not a lot of it. All the Bitcoin created every single day is being absorbed by at least 3 companies that we know of who have publicly told us this last year that this is their strategy. All the other Bitcoin continues to disappear. It's incredibly finite. The production rate of it only continues. The actual main points of Bitcoin are why Bitcoin is rising. Everything else is kind of on the side, but gosh darn it, inflation also does it as well. So I find the idea of inflation as the actual driving for Bitcoin's price being more of a believable point than the futures ETF, but I think the futures ETF definitely did give us a $7,000-$8,000 push over the last couple of days. Here's the actual article from Bloomberg. Bloomberg, I think after reading or looking at 3 articles, you can't read anymore, but here it is. It says JP Morgan says Bitcoin's record run is being fueled by inflation. You can't really see it. And I also love the fact that Bloomberg thinks that people can't count. If you want a yearly subscription, it's $249. If you want a monthly subscription, it's $1.71. I think they need to get their numbers in order. Anyway, that's the why is Bitcoin actually going up news. And let's move on. Also in the news of the 1 million number, more than 1 million people are on the wait list for Robinhood's long-awaited crypto wallet, according to the CEO. Speaking to Jim Cramer during CNBC's Disruptor 50 Summit on the 21st of October, Tenev stated that he was very proud of Robinhood's progress in crypto as he highlighted the firm's recent push to provide a crypto wallet for its users. He said a lot of people have been asking for the ability to send and receive cryptocurrencies, transfer them to hardware wallet, transfer them onto the platform to consolidate. As you know, the crypto wallet's waiting list is well over 1 million people, which is very exciting. When I talk about the million news, this news came out around the same exact time as Facebook's NFT platform also having 1 million people having signed up for it. So these news stories, they weren't even fighting with each other. Coinbase's NFT platform thing was way more popular than this news. I do not use Robinhood, but as far as I understand, I think you cannot take your crypto off of the platform. I think it simply sits there on the screen, and this is what people have been actually asking for. So the rumors were, for a while, people were like, there's probably no actual crypto in the company, and we're simply trading numbers back and forth, and we have to cash out into the US dollar. So that was the speculation that was going around. So more than 1 million people now want to have custody of their own cryptocurrency. Logic. Just for future reference, make sure that you can custody it before you purchase it. That's why NFTs are becoming popular, because you actually own the thing. Anyway, yeah, so that's the 1 million people waiting news. I don't know why on the weekend I do that echo noise. For some reason, it sounds more... It's definitely not more professional. Anyway, that's the Robinhood news, and let's move on. Next up, investors can now purchase mutual fund units of Purpose Investment Bitcoins and Ether ETFs, bringing Canadians easier crypto exposure. That was a weird sentence. Purpose Investments, an asset management company with $12 billion in assets under management, recently announced that mutual fund units would be available for cryptocurrency ETFs. These include its Purpose Bitcoin ETF and Purpose Ether ETF, each directly backed by Bitcoin and Ether respectively. I'm pretty sure that this was the first crypto Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF to ever launch in the world. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, because it was definitely in Canada, because I think we have 5 or 6 here. Not really sure. It doesn't really matter. So now they have mutual funds that you can also buy that are also linked to this as well. I think that the future is going to be interesting in that I think a lot of people have heard about the cryptocurrency space for a while. I think a lot of people, even if in the back of their heads, want some kind of, and I'll use the word exposure to the cryptocurrency space. I think it's going to be an interesting future because a lot of people have been told and are going to do their investments through Bitcoin ETFs or through mutual funds or hedge funds or some sort of other way, but they themselves will not actually have ownership of the actual physical Bitcoin or Ethereum that you normally would if you bought it off of a cryptocurrency exchange. So we're going to get to a point sometime in the future where people are investing into the cryptocurrency space, but when they want to actually have their Bitcoin, the company will say, here's the US dollars or the Canadian dollar equivalent of what you cashed out. As inflation continues to destroy the value of paper currencies, this is what I think the interesting part is going to be, that people will become, they'll notice very quick that they should have owned my opinion, that they should have owned the physical asset, that is to say actual Bitcoin or Ether or XRP or any other coin, and not the mutual funds or hedge funds or ETFs based or futures based on them. But so I like these stories because it does allow more people around the world to have access or exposure to these coins. But a lot of people really want people to do things for them as opposed to doing it for themselves. So for some reason, for a lot of people, the idea of going to, I won't name a cryptocurrency exchange, but to a cryptocurrency exchange, buying the crypto there and actually having the crypto is for some reason tedious. But for some people want mutual funds and ETFs and all these other things based on them, where you receive a certificate and not the actual. Anyway, so cool. Wonderful. I wish them the best of luck. I'm sure it will do just fine. I'm sure they did not launch this because they were like, let's see if it works. No, I'm sure they got news behind the scenes. Somebody was like, we need to have this actually happen. So, yeah. And it's also how interesting it is to me that there are 5 or 6 Bitcoin ETFs in Canada. And the only thing that really ever makes the news is the Bitcoin futures ETF in the United States, which isn't a real actual Bitcoin ETF because it's based off of futures. You would assume, because I'm pretty sure that this one also reached $1 billion in record time as well, as far as the size of the fund. You would assume that just up north, the news that there are 5 or 6 Bitcoin ETFs would be the worldwide news. But alas, everyone keeps kissing the toes of the SEC, and I'm not really sure why. Let's move on. Also in the news, when I first read this, I didn't understand it, but then I realized that it was the name of a company and not the actual thing. You'll see what I'm talking about. The Cardano Foundation, whoever wrote this, sure, why not? The Cardano Foundation blazes on, with its plans to further push adoption and utilization of the Cardano blockchain. In a recent partnership, the world-leading Swiss nonprofit organization announced its partnership with Rival Games. So when I first read this, it said that they have a partnership with their rival. And I was like, huh? And then it said like Rival Games. And I was like, does Cardano have games that they have a rival? But I realized the company's name is Rival. So their partnership with Rival is not their actual rival. And I keep hitting my hand like this. It's because the prominent esports and gaming brand delivers unique and interactive platforms for loyal fan engagement. The partnership will facilitate the creation and distribution of NFTs and NFT-based digital assets. It will also facilitate the redemption of NFTs for goods and services. Even more market-based royalties will enter the Rival platform. See, it sounds like it's their rival. Okay, I'm going to shut up. So the point is, Cardano has an actual partnership right here. Rival partners with Cardano to launch NFT marketplace. That says September. When is this from? What the fudge is going? Okay, anyway. Yeah, so apparently this swooped over everyone's heads. This article is from September. And this news story is from a couple days ago in October. I do not remember anyone talking about Cardano launching or forming a partnership with Rival to develop an NFT marketplace, but alas, here we are. I know that the news was Cardano was making their own NFT marketplace. I guess maybe Rival's helping them. I'm very confused. So, and a lot of people were telling me over the last couple of days also to get onto Cardano's NFT marketplace, but I don't know of one. Like, I know that there are people who have built marketplaces on top of Cardano, but I don't think any of them are as big as OpenSea. Correct me if I am wrong. I do apologize. I do make mistakes. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Anyway, so Cardano has an NFT platform in the works. I assume we'll hear news of this again in November. Let's move on. Also in news that I thought was already news, but apparently it's now again news. It says Miami mayor wants its city workers paid in Bitcoin. I'm fairly certain in like April, when the mayor of Miami announced that he wanted that to be a Bitcoin-centric hub, and also announced that he wanted people to like move to Miami to start mining Bitcoin. And then a couple months later, that they wanted to make a Miami coin. Sure, why not? I'm pretty sure that the news also back then in the summer was that the mayor of Miami also wanted to allow workers in the city the option of being paid in Bitcoin. For some reason, this is new news, renews. Sure, why not? I'm sure it's going to happen eventually. I guess people want it to happen as soon as possible. You'd rather be paid in Bitcoin when it's $27,000 as opposed to $143,000 if you catch my drift. So yeah, this was also quite popular news over the course of the week. Sure, why not? Hope it works out. If you are in Miami, actually, no, never mind. I was going to say, if you're in Miami, tell me if you want to be paid in Bitcoin, but don't let people know where you are. That's your own private stuff. Let me know in general in the comment section if you want to be paid in Bitcoin, because this was a conversation that I also tried to have years ago, but everyone was kind of like, yeah, I don't want to be paid in Bitcoin. Bitcoin fluctuates. If you had the chance, because realistically, if you had the chance to be paid in Bitcoin back in, 2018 or whatever, when Bitcoin was $3,000-$4,000, many people would have said no, but now they would say yes because Bitcoin's price is up. So seeing where Bitcoin currently is, even if we had, would you want to be actually paid in Bitcoin? I wouldn't mind it. I think even like half my salary? I don't know. 65%? Realistically, we're all going to be getting paid in crypto at some point in the next 5 to 10, 15 years exclusively. So I guess it's more of a when. Anyway, I've trailed off once again. Let's move on. And to finish things off, this week, and I purposefully don't add these things anymore during the course of the week because it's just ridiculously, oddly repetitive. Nearly every single country on the planet, especially the 90 who before kept on saying that they had no plans for a central bank digital currency, have all now come out and said, yeah, they can't wait to have a central bank digital currency. It says Japan will prioritize simplicity and central bank digital currency design, says central bank executive. I think all these things are going to be an absolute failure. That's not because I support the cryptocurrency space. It's because countries already have problems amongst themselves when it comes to trading actual pieces of paper or trading gold. There's always some type of an issue. The idea that all these things are going to be interoperable is not going to happen. What I assume is actually going to take place is that nearly every country in the next 5 to 10 years, rather, there's going to be, I think that the International Monetary Fund or the Bank of International Settlements is going to simply create one coin and everyone's going to be told to use it in every single country. Because remember when JP Morgan was trying to make their own coin and Bank of America was trying to make their own coin, and I think Citibank was also trying to make one? And the idea is that other banks would sign up and simply you would go to the bank and, you would go to Bank of Bahamas, whatever, and say like, hey, I want to pay, and you would have to pay in JP Morgan coin. But that's not how banks work. Banks want to make their own coins and everyone else has to pay for them or pay with them, but that's also not going to take place. So every single one of these banks is going to have their own cryptocurrency, but the actual interoperability of being able to send them amongst themselves is not going to actually happen or take place. So I can feel it. There's going to be like a hyper centralized one that every country is going to be told to adopt. And then that'll be the actual Street Fighter fight. It'll be between that one huge centralized coin and the decentralized cryptocurrency market. I don't know. I can feel it. It's something in the air. Yeah. Right. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope your weekend's going great. I do hope you're doing something fun or you've done something fun. Go out and buy something that makes you feel good. Just make sure to enjoy your weekend. The world is still special, as I am most certainly sure you are aware of. But try to always take some time out to do something nice for yourself. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, supporting, commenting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.